Honorable Governor of Kerala with us, Mr. Arif Mohammed Khan. Sir, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Namaskar.
Namaste, sir.
Namaskar, sir.
Namaskar. Namaskar. Namaskar, Shivani Ben. Namaskar.
Sir, it's such a privilege for us to have you here because I have been motivated with your achievements, and meeting you in person and understanding the life in a different way has always been, a proper guide in itself. But having you here and sharing your experience with everyone over here at the time when this is must required is like something I am really very grateful to you. As such, we don't have any, we don't, I mean, say I myself have no proper words to introduce you to the world because you yourself are, abundance of knowledge, which I personally pursue. So, sir, just a very small and a very quick question from you would be, uh, since there is so much of happening right now, and everyone is changing the priorities that we were earlier having. Like, earlier priorities were very different, and now priorities are very, very different. So, you being into the position where you have to be very prioritized about whatever you are doing and how you are doing. So how is it actually impacting overall, mentally in terms of your working and all, so that people could actually learn how you are trying to tackle or how you are managing that particular thing?
At the moment, I feel we are in the midst of a crisis. It's like firefighting operation. So the fire has not been extinguished as yet. We are engaged in it. But at the same time, the feedback that we are receiving is that uh, this fire is not going to be extinguished completely uh, in terms of uh, defined time, that within next 2 months or 3 months it will be totally under control. No, that is not the position. In fact, we are not even aware that uh, have we so far have we reached the peak, or we are still moving in that direction. And the kind of reports that, apart from the fact that we do not have any vaccination available, we do not have any medication available, we do not have any data available, because this is a new virus, and therefore the experts are not in a position today to exactly predict how this is, what is going to be the pattern of behavior of this virus. So it is going to take some time. But so when you are in the midst of the crisis, first you want to put out that fire, and then only you will start in terms of, particularly as I said earlier, that we have to, so far, what we are learning is that for quite some time we will have to learn to live with this, uh, you want to call it virus, this invisible enemy. Uh, we do not even know, because there are some opinions who say that it is mutating so fast that in 2020 we are fighting COVID-19, and possibly we will next year we will have to redesignate the fight as fight against COVID-21, because it is mutating very fast. So actually, mm, mm, uh, if you look at the history of the mankind, it is the ignorance which is the real enemy. And since we do not have the full knowledge or full facts available, therefore today we are groping in the dark. Mostly it is in the dark. But that this situation is not going to remain long. I'm sure that the great efforts which are being made by our scientists, by our medical communities, by the researchers, soon we should be in a position where we can find very effective uh, methods to not only to prevent its spread, but to control it very effectively. So, but what you are, I would like to compliment you because um, uh, you are asking about how the priorities are going to change and what will be the world, the post-COVID world, what it would be like. I think, despite the fact that we are in the midst of a crisis, this is the right time we should start thinking about it. And you are thinking about it. There are many people who are thinking about it. Many write-ups are appearing in the press. So I'm sure that all these, whatever today we are suggesting or we are speculating, we will be in a better position to formulate the policies, the programs, and the strategies when we are, first thing, when we have brought this menace under control, and secondly, by that time, I hope that we will have more data available to us so that we can be more confident in predicting, in assessing. First, predicting comes later. First, assessing the real threat that which we are facing, and then predicting its pattern of behavior. So that will take, but one thing is certain, that the post-COVID world is going to be a different world, and we will have to make many adjustments. And to give you just one example, because it made a lot of sense to me. Uh, Professor Yuval Noah Harari, who is an international celebrity, the famous writer of those 3 books. I was listening to one of his talk, and he made a great point. He said he's a professor of the Hebrew University, and he said that we had taken the decision to make all courses, academic courses of the Hebrew University available online about 10 years back. And he said we were in a position to make those courses available online. But the problem with the human beings is that the vested interest always play a role. And secondly, the long confirmed habits create a comfortable zone for us. And we find it very difficult to step out of those comfortable zones. Therefore, the point he made was that for 10 long years, despite having the capability, Hebrew University could not make these academic courses online. But after COVID started, within a week, every academic course of the Hebrew University was online. Because that situation was thrusted upon the academic community. So I think that wherever we go fast and do things to give positive response to the situation which we are seeing today, that will be good for us. And if we do not do so spontaneously, happily, then situation will force us to adopt, to modify, to bring changes which are absolutely necessary to make life meaningful. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. I think what you said will just justify in one single sentence as like Avishkar. Uh, I'm so sorry, my Hindi is getting haywire here. So necessity is mother of invention. I guess this would be the right phrase here.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir. I think it was really a wonderful experience listening all these great personalities here, those who have done and achieved so much in their life. I would really like to thank everyone present here. Dhanraj sir, thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Vivek ji. Thank you so much for being here with us. Shivani Didi, very, very, very thank you so much. सर आपके आने के लिए आपका तहे दिल से शुक्रिया अदा करते हैं. And with this note, I would just like to say, whatever we do, however we do, but happiness is the key. Stay happy, spread happiness. This is what is a necessity of time, and this is what I have taken away from discussion and listening everyone here right now. So please stay happy, spread happiness, and take care of yourself and stay safe. That is very important as well. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.